Hello, my beautiful badass babe, and welcome back to another episode of the Badass Babe Oracle podcast. I am so excited that you are here. I just called in our angels and our guides because today we're talking about discovering your soul purpose and why it can feel challenging, why it can feel hard, and why it can feel like everyone else has their life figured out or their soul purpose or their mission figured out, and it's so effing hard for me. So if you're having any feelings there, welcome, babe. You are in the exact right place, exactly where you're meant to be, and I'm so happy that you're here to receive. So I wanted to do a little bit of a check-in and see how you're feeling with Lionsgate portal being open. Noticing if you're feeling any energetic shifts, if you're feeling any new beliefs, new mindset, just how your aura's feeling, how your energy's feeling, how you are feeling within you and with all around you. I just want you to notice, just take notice of anything that you're feeling. And I invite you to, if you haven't yet already, to at some point today, step outside, plant your feet in the earth, and just look up at the sky and feel yourself receiving the energetic light codes from Lionsgate portal being open. Just feel yourself receiving. Oh, it is all about just allowing yourself to feel empowered. And there's a huge energy of confidence right now with Lionsgate portal being open. So it's a beautiful time to talk about soul purpose, which has a lot of the energy of confidence and certainty around it. So let's dive in. I don't have this planned, so we're going to channel and let's see what our angels and guides want to share with our soul purpose and why it can feel challenging and like a struggle. And like, honestly, what the fuck am I doing with my life? You may be feeling that now. You may have felt that in the past. You may have kind of ebbs and flows of that feeling of like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? So what I wanted to share first is I feel like with discovering your soul purpose and really stepping into your soul gifts, your mission, your wisdom, there can be a lot of pressure there. And I know for me, and it's so interesting because we were actually talking about this last night at dinner with my husband's family. I don't know how college came up, but this just ties in beautifully. So we were talking about how after high school, if you chose to go to college, you were literally forced to choose a major. You were forced to choose a major. You had to. So I remember in that moment, I was like, oh my God, I have to figure my life out and know exactly what I'm doing with my life until the day I die right now at the age of 17 or 18. Right? And that was a lot of pressure. That was so much pressure. And for me, I was like, okay, I know I love math. I'm really great at math. So let me go to school to be a math teacher. That didn't last long, by the way, but that's what I originally went to college for. And so I feel like, again, whether you chose to go to college or whether you chose to go right into the workforce, you basically had to have a plan. We had to have this plan. We had to have something figured out. And I keep saying had because for me, it was like, you had to know. You had to know what you wanted to do, what you wanted to major in order to go to school. If you were going into the workforce, you had to know where your skills were, where you wanted to spend your time in order to get a job, right? It's like we had to know. And then I feel like this pressure, this force of having to know what we were going to do with our life carried with us from the time that we were, honestly, that could have started when we were in middle school, so around 12 or 13, into now. We have carried that force, that pressure of I have to know what I am doing with my life. And you know that when we're in this energy of force, of pressure, it feels so heavy. It feels so heavy. And I know I've been sharing this lately, but I've been sharing this to really plant the seeds to knowing that when there is that energy of heaviness, when there is that energy of force, when there is that energy of pressure, it means that we're living out of alignment with our soul essence, with our soul purpose, with our mission, right? When you are anchored into your soul essence, your energetic frequency, your soul gifts, skills, wisdom, purpose, it feels so light. It feels so free. And now on the flip side, let me tell you, because we have this energy and almost like this mindset that has been engraved in our subconscious of, I have to have it figured out. I have to have this perfect plan, and it needs to make sure that it is making money in order for me to survive. That is planted in our subconscious from a very young age, right? So when we are living our lives and you start to come into spirituality, when you start to tap into, ooh, Badass Babe Oracle podcast, what's that all about? When you start to tap into what it is that lights you up, rituals, meditation, yoga, crystals, oracle cards, tarot cards, spells, when you start to tap into that, it's almost like we begin to follow this path of our soul, of why we came here, this path of what's lighting us up. And then our subconscious, which is attuned to, I have to have it figured out, or I'm not going to survive, or I'm not going to make money, or I'm going to be shamed, blamed, bullied. I'm not going to feel like I fit into society, right? All these stories that we attach, all these meanings that we attach to, I have to have it figured out. I have to know what I'm doing with my life, or fill in the blank, the story that you attach. When we are on this journey of really discovering our soul purpose and our soul mission, it can feel so challenging because our subconscious is attuned to that story, that belief that we've been carrying for so long. And also, I'm hearing that we're tying that story, that belief, into discovering your soul purpose as well, right? And it's like, you may see other people who are completely in alignment with their soul purpose, with their mission, they're living their best life. And you may be like, it seems so easy for them. It seems so free for them. It seems so simple, so organic for them. Why is it so hard for me, right? And I want to ask you, when you are on the path right now of stepping into and aligning with your soul purpose, with your soul mission, are you attaching meaning to it? Are you attaching any meaning to it? And by that, I mean, are you like, okay, I'm following what lights me up. I'm starting to feel the pull to go in this direction, but will it make money? Will it make sense? Will it have to have this plan that I then share with someone else so that they then support me, right? Whatever it is, are you attaching a meaning to it? Because if so, that's your subconscious and your aura and your energy continuing that energetic frequency of pressure, of force, of I have to have it figured out. And guess what, girlfriend? Your soul purpose may not make any sense, and that is okay. That is okay. And also, I want to share a huge permission piece to you. And this is something that I thought for so long, is that I feel like we're kind of ingrained to believe that your soul purpose has to be your job, and it has to make money, and it has to sustain you, right? I thought that for so long, like, oh my God, I have to find my soul purpose because that's my job. It's going to be my job for the rest of my life. And for so many of us, it may not be your job, and that is okay. And I feel like that's where a lot of the pressure and the force comes from, because we tie this meaning to it of I have to find my soul purpose because it's going to be my job, it's going to make the money, and it's going to help me survive, right? That's just weaving all of the old stories, all the old beliefs into your soul purpose. And honestly, for some of us, our soul purpose, we came here into this lifetime to spread joy, to spread light, to be a networker with other people, to be a communicator, right? Like, there could be so many things that your soul came here to do, came here to share, came here to spread, create with others. Like, allow yourself to set yourself free from this box of what you believed that your soul purpose had to be, because it may be something completely different than what you've ever dreamed or thought about. And when you can detach any meanings around your soul purpose, that's when it can become light, it can become free, and that's when you can actually enjoy your effing life. That's when we can release this pressure, this force of having it all figured out. Again, no one said that your soul purpose had to become your job, your work, unless that organically happens. Okay? And you are the one who will know that. You are the one who will know that. And when you can release that thought or belief around that is when it becomes a little bit lighter, it becomes a little bit more free, and it becomes fun. Like, honestly, stepping into your soul purpose and your mission is fun. It's fun when you can allow yourself to have fun with it and to release any meanings or stories around it. And just a personal example, I mean, honestly, if I didn't follow the path of what was fun, of my spiritual curiosities, of what lit me up, of what was calling me at the moment, you wouldn't be listening to this podcast right now. I wouldn't be sitting here recording this right now and sharing this message right now, right? If I didn't allow myself to follow my calling. And it took a lot of work, to be honest, because what I'm sharing with you, I had all of the stories around the soul purpose, around my soul mission of it had to be my job, it had to make money, it had to do this, it had to look a certain way, or I wasn't doing it right. None of that was true. None of that was true. Now, I will tell you intuitively, I knew that my soul purpose was going to be my life's work, was going to be my job. I knew that. I knew that. I can't tell you why in this moment. Maybe it'll come my way. Inner knowing, I just knew that. So knowing that put pressure on it for me and put pressure around it for me. And you may inherently, intuitively know that as well. And if so, that's amazing. It will come. It's truly already here. It's already presenting itself to you each and every day, multiple times a day. When you can release that force, that pressure, and allow it to be what it wants to be for you, right? And almost starting to see that your experiences in your life, they are all happening for you to allow you to step even deeper into your soul purpose. So, for example, honestly, the entire reason that I started this podcast, the entire reason that I started the Baddest Babe community, it literally all birthed from my miscarriage and molar pregnancy and that 10-month healing process that I went through. After I went through that process is when all of this was birthed, right? And that experience was absolutely horrible, one of the lowest points in my life. However, when I started to see, okay, this is a spiritual awakening. Like, this experience is literally ushering me into a new way of being, shifting my perspective entirely. And what I was able to do from that really shitty, to be frank, awful fucking experience in my life is I allowed myself to see that almost propelled me into stepping into my leadership role, into really stepping into my soul purpose. And so I have been embodying my soul purpose probably for the last, let's take a step back. I feel like all of us start embodying our soul purpose from birth, but from my conscious awareness, I feel like I started to really embody my soul purpose maybe 10 years ago, maybe even earlier than that, honestly, because as I think about it, I'm like, okay, I can see flashbacks of when it started to show itself to me, but I was in resistance, I was in denial, I wasn't in the energetic space of receiving. I wasn't ready for it, right? I was living the path of what I thought I was supposed to be doing with my life, of the job I thought I was supposed to be working at, surrounding myself with people who I thought that were supposed to be on my path, who some of them are no longer. And I know that I'm thinking through my journey right now. And I invite you to think about your journey. Think about where your soul has been communicating with you, where your spirit team, your guides have been communicating with you, and notice anything that they have been sharing with you. Notice anything where it's like, oh yeah, I remember when I signed up for that class. I remember when I signed up for that course. I remember when I did something so random that I've never done before, like took myself out to dinner or went to a movie by myself, right? Or whatever it is. Like I saw this book and then someone else told me about it the next day, and then a commercial about it came on and it just kept coming my way. So I knew I was meant to read that book, right? Like notice in your journey any signs that have been coming your way, any insights that have been coming your way, any synchronicity that has been coming your way. Because as you start to open yourself up to receive, we become more aware and we start to see, wow, my soul has literally been communicating with me every single day, multiple times a day. And when we release that pressure, those stories around how our life is supposed to look, what the outcome is supposed to be, is when we can start to open ourselves up to receive, right? And so right now, I didn't imagine myself with my life having a podcast, being a leader, guiding the Badass Babe community, being a mindset coach, teaching spiritual rituals. No, I know I saw myself being a yoga teacher, which I am, and which I have been doing. However, I shared this before, I resisted my true soul purpose. Like I stopped myself. I almost capped myself off of being a yoga teacher. Like that was truly the opening for me, again, in my conscious awareness. And everything that's unfolding now, I'm stepping into my soul purpose. And honestly, I am still embodying it each and every day. And I don't know what it's going to look like next year. I don't know what it's going to look like 10 years from now. But the outcome isn't up to me, right? It's up to my soul. And sometimes in this human form, we want to control. We want to know the outcome. We want to know the plan. And so many of us are like, I need to know the plan. I need to know the next step. And when we have that mindset, which again, it's okay. It's totally okay, especially with your sun, your moon, your rising sign. Like that just may be encoded in your DNA and encoded in your astrology, your human design, your energetic frequency. That's fine. We accept that side of ourselves, having to know the plan. However, can you challenge yourself to release having to know the plan, having to know the outcome? Because for me, when I put myself in this scenario of, okay, yes, I followed my soul calling. I signed up for YTT, signed up for yoga teacher training. This feels so right. Okay. Now, because I signed up for this, I am going to be a full-time yoga teacher. That is going to be my life. I'm going to do retreats. I'm going to do this, and it's going to be amazing, right? Let me tell you, that happened. And it was amazing. And it is amazing. However, because I had to know what my plan was and had to know what the outcome was, I literally, emotionally, physically, energetically, spiritually capped myself off from my true soul purpose, from where I am now and from where I am still journeying to and of who I am becoming, right? I capped myself off because I felt like I had to have this perfect plan and this perfect end goal. And like, you don't owe your perfect plan, your end goal to anyone. You don't owe that to anyone. No one is sitting around waiting for you to tell them what you're doing with your life. If right now you're in college and your parents are, I see you, I hear you, I understand, and I remember being there. I remember, like I said in the beginning, you have to have it figured out, right? And just know that it's a stepping stone. Like choosing your major, now that I look back on it, it's just a stepping stone. It was never permanent. It was never permanent. I signed up to go to college as a math major. Within the first semester, I just had a flashback. I literally, and I saw myself being a math teacher. I love math. And here we are. I'm like, whoa, full circle. I guess I knew I was supposed to be a teacher of some sort. Here we are. This is a cool experience. And I remember sitting in class and we were talking about being a math teacher. And I don't know if I asked or if someone asked, like, if this guy enjoyed being a math teacher. And literally he was like, look at me. Does it look like I enjoy being a math teacher? And I was like, oh God, no. Everything in your aura and your energy, in the way that you're expressing yourself, is saying, no, get out and run right now. And in that moment, I was like, shit, I have to change my major. I don't want to become this guy. And then my path unfolded and so much happened. Anyways, I switched my major to business and that's what happened. But the moral of the story is nothing is permanent. Nothing is set in stone. Whatever you choose, whatever you feel like you had to choose in order to receive a certain outcome, nothing is permanent. It can always change. It can always go in the direction it's meant to if you allow it to. And that is the key point, if you allow it to. Like for me, if I was like, no, and this would be ego talking. No, I decided to be a math major. I know I meant to teach math. I love math. This is what I signed up for, so I have to continue. There's no other option. This is what I already told my family I was doing. This is what I told people in high school I was doing. Like, this is the effing plan. I cannot go off the plan. Again, that's completely ego talking. If I did that, I do not know if I would be here sitting recording this episode today. Probably not. I don't know though. I don't know. So it's almost like, can you allow yourself to detach from a plan, detach from what you thought the outcome is supposed to be, and open yourself up to what is meant for you, right? And again, a lot of this comes with ego. A lot of this comes with stepping out of the comfort zone. And honestly, I know for me, on my path of really stepping into and embodying my soul purpose, I know that when I was teaching yoga, this was probably 4 or 5 years ago, I remember teaching and I remember just like during class wanting to share so much. I really wanted to talk about literally everything I talk about now during class. And I remember being like, no, you can't do that because yoga teachers don't do that. We're like here to just guide them through yoga and breath and whatever. And I wanted to teach. I wanted to express literally exactly what I'm doing now. And I stopped myself because I was like, no, this isn't what you're supposed to do. And I remember little by little, I started doing that. I started to channel. I started to talk about energy. I started to talk about higher self connection, intuition, just living your life for you, and embodiment practices and all the things that light me the fuck up little by little. And I remember that when I was doing that, it felt scary. It felt really scary for me because it was like, where is this coming from? Like, why do I feel called to share this? I don't understand. I don't have any prior knowledge in this, like in energy and in spiritual practices, but I'm just sharing what's coming through. And that was really scary for me. So again, I'm going to ask you on your journey right now, are there any feelings, anything of your soul gifts, your insight, your wisdom that you were like, why do I want to express this right now? What is happening? And you're resisting yourself. Doesn't make any sense, but you just feel this like deep calling to help someone, to share something, to express something, and you've been resisting or holding yourself back. If so, this is a huge invitation right now to just fucking do it. Just do it and see what happens. Do it. And when you do that, you're literally setting yourself free. You set yourself free from this box that we set ourselves in from the age of, I don't know, maybe 7, 12, 15, who knows, right? You're letting go of the ego and you're letting your soul come through, and it feels so fucking good. So again, this is just validating anything. If you're having any emotions of fear, of doubt, of second guessing yourself, of imposter syndrome, it's okay. It's just you detaching from any old stories or beliefs that you set around embodying your soul purpose, right? So that's all that it is. And it's okay. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything unless you give it a meaning. All right. So I really, really wanted to share that with you. And then when you start to express yourself, when you start to have these insights, this wisdom that comes through, it is just like, I don't understand what's happening, but it feels good. It feels good. And that's you embodying your soul purpose each and every day because you're giving yourself permission to do so, right? And you're letting it be easy. You're letting it be free. You're letting it be fun. You're letting yourself explore. You're letting your soul come through. You're detaching from old stories, old beliefs, and from the ego. You're already on your path. You are already on your path of discovering and embodying your soul purpose. You are already there. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here listening to this podcast episode right now. Okay, so if right now you feel so lost, you feel so disconnected, that is okay. It is a huge invitation to come back home to you, to come back home into your energetic frequency, your soul essence, into doing what feels good for you, and to almost stop identifying as the person of who you thought you were going to be. And that was so huge for me. And that created such a shift. And that detachment of shifting away from the identity of who I thought I was supposed to be, that was a little hard because it took some work. It took some ego work. It took some inner child work. It took some mindset work. And it still is, right? This is a journey. This is a practice. This is a journey and this is a practice. And what I'm hearing is this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. And it's so exciting. It is so exciting. I can't tell you how many people are choosing to live out of alignment with their soul essence, with their soul purpose, with their calling, their wisdom, their gifts, right? But you're not. You're not. You are coming into this, it's almost like an initiation of my soul came here for a reason. My soul came here for a purpose, a specific mission, and I want to figure it the fuck out, right? Self-discovery. That is so effing cool. So I'm celebrating that right now because, again, you could continue to keep just walking the path of what you were supposed to do. You could continue to ignore the signs, the intuition, the hits, the wisdom, the downloads, the calling. But you know that you're meant for something more because you are, because your soul came here for a very specific reason, mission, purpose. So my point being is I'm celebrating you so much because you're allowing it to come through. And me saying that right now, I know that you came here to make a huge impact on the world. I know that, and you know that as well. And if you can detach any meaning around what that is supposed to be, what that is supposed to look like, is when we can really tap into discovering your soul purpose, right? And so with this in mind, I'm like, oh my God, I could talk about this for so long and go deeper and deeper and deeper, which I want to. And this is your invitation to join me in our masterclass, which is called Discover Your Soul Purpose, this Sunday, August 14th at 11 a.m. EST. It's going to be about an hour long. And what we're going to be doing in this masterclass is my soul method. It's my 4-step system to uncover your soul purpose and calling, which I'll break down for you. And then what we're going to do is shift into our soul retrieval guided meditation to call back the wisdom, skills, and gifts from past lives and weave them into this lifetime. And like I said, when we're stepping into our soul purpose, we have beliefs ingrained in our subconscious, in our mindset, which sometimes prevents us from moving forward, from stepping out of our comfort zone, from fully embodying our soul purpose. So what we're also going to do in this masterclass is my favorite NLP technique to integrate the parts of you. It's basically the part of you that desires to embody your soul purpose and live out your soul mission. And then there's another part of you who feels content in their comfort zone, who may feel a little scared to embody or live out their soul purpose, right? So this NLP technique allows all parts of you to be seen, heard, felt, and witnessed to set yourself free, right? And then you also get lifetime access to the replay. So if you cannot make it live, no worries. You're going to get access to the replay so you can listen to this masterclass every day if you want to. And it is just going to be so magical, so amazing to truly allow you to discover your soul purpose and then weave in the practices to embody your soul purpose, to detach any meanings that we may have set around what it's supposed to look like, what you're supposed to do with your life, so that you can fully anchor into who you are and who your soul came here to be. Oh, it's going to be so good. I cannot even wait. And I know that you've been in my energy and you've been loving this podcast and listening to it weekly, daily, maybe monthly. This is your invitation to take it a step deeper outside of the podcast and really explore yourself. Like, this is self-discovery to the most beautiful level, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, right? We're going to tap into the mindset work as well and tap into your subconscious, and then allow yourself to consciously live out and embody your soul purpose in a way that feels so effing good for you. Oh, I am so excited. I'm going to drop that link in the show notes so that you can register for the Discover Your Soul Purpose Masterclass on the 14th at 11 a.m. It is only $55 right now, angel numbers. And then make sure you register before price doubles the day before the masterclass. All right. I love you so much. Please let me know if you had any breakthrough moments, any like, oh my God, yes, queen moments. DM me, email me. I am so excited to hear, and I am celebrating you as you choose to discover and embody your soul purpose in a way that feels so effing good for you.